You've just returned from the hospital and your lab results are in. You have a Staphylococcus aureus infection. What does this mean for you and your loved ones? And how can this common infection turn into a deadly superbug? Studies reveal that approximately 1.2 million people died from antibiotic-resistant bacterial infections in 2019, an infection so powerful that it defies the strongest antibiotics. This is MRSA, a methicillin-resistant strain of Staphylococcus aureus. Stay tuned to learn how to protect yourself and your loved ones from this deadly threat. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into Staphylococcus aureus infections, a common but potentially serious health issue. We'll explore what staph infections are, how they're treated, and the alarming transformation into MRSA, a superbug responsible for millions of deaths worldwide. Whether you've been diagnosed with a staph infection or are supporting someone who has, this video will provide essential information to help you understand and manage the condition. Staphylococcus aureus is a type of bacteria commonly found on the skin and in the noses of healthy individuals. Most of the time, it doesn't cause any problems. However, when it enters the body through cuts, wounds, or medical devices, it can cause infections. These infections can range from minor skin issues to more serious conditions like bloodstream infections, pneumonia, and infections in surgical wounds. What are the signs and symptoms of a staph infection, you may ask? Staph infections often start as swollen, painful red bumps that might resemble pimples or spider bites. For infections in the urethra or vagina, symptoms might include unusual discharge, pain during urination, or swelling. More serious infections can lead to conditions like pneumonia or sepsis. Staph bacteria spread through skin-to-skin contact or by touching contaminated objects and surfaces. It can be found on shared equipment in places like gyms and hospitals, and can also be contacted through sexual activity with an infected person. Diagnosing a staph infection typically involves a physical examination and laboratory tests. Treatment depends on the severity and location of the infection. Minor skin infections might be treated with topical antibiotics and proper wound care, while more serious infections may require oral or intravenous antibiotics. It's crucial to follow your healthcare provider's instructions and complete the entire course of antibiotics to ensure the infection is fully eradicated. One may wonder how Staphylococcus aureus spread. Well, staph bacteria spread through skin-to-skin contact or by touching contaminated objects and surfaces. It can be found on shared equipment in places like gyms and hospitals. Proper hygiene and cleaning are essential to prevent its spread. People with weakened immune systems, chronic diseases, recent hospitalizations, or those living in long-term care facilities are at higher risk. It is also prevalent among athletes and individuals in close living quarters. But what happens when staph bacteria become resistant to common antibiotics? This is where MRSA, or Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, comes into play. What exactly is MRSA? Well, it's a type of staph bacteria that's resistant to many antibiotics, including methicillin, one of the most powerful antibiotics ever produced. This resistance makes infections incredibly hard to treat and control, leading to severe complications and, in some cases, death. To understand MRSA, let's first discuss its origin, Staphylococcus aureus. Staphylococcus aureus is a common bacterium found on the skin and in the noses of healthy people. Staphylococcus aureus can cause several types of diseases in both men and women. Common infections include skin infections. These range from minor conditions like pimples and boils to more severe infections such as impetigo, cellulitis, and abscesses. Respiratory infections. This includes pneumonia, which can be particularly severe in individuals with weakened immune systems. Bloodstream infections. Bacteremia. Staph bacteria can enter the bloodstream and spread to various body organs, causing conditions like sepsis, which is a life-threatening response to infection. Bone and joint infections. Infections such as osteomyelitis, bone infection, and septic arthritis, joint infection, can occur when bacteria spread to bones and joints. Endocarditis. This is an infection of the heart valves and can lead to heart failure or stroke. Toxic shock syndrome, a rare but potentially fatal condition caused by toxins produced by Staphylococcus aureus. Food poisoning. Staphylococcus aureus can produce toxins that contaminate food, leading to severe gastrointestinal illness. Now let's delve into the specifics of MRSA. MRSA stands for Methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, a strain of staph bacteria that has evolved to resist the antibiotics commonly used to treat ordinary staph infections. This resistance is primarily due to the presence of the MECA gene, which alters the bacteria's cell wall structure, making it impervious to methicillin and other similar antibiotics. One of the remarkable features of MRSA is its ability to communicate and coordinate attacks through a process known as quorum sensing. Imagine a scenario where bacteria can send chemical signals to each other, essentially talking and coordinating their actions. When MRSA bacteria accumulate to a certain density, these signals trigger the production of toxins and enzymes that enhance their ability to cause infection. This orchestrated assault can overwhelm the immune system, leading to more severe infections. Furthermore, MRSA has several virulence factors that make it particularly dangerous. For instance, it produces a protein called protein A, which binds to antibodies in a way that renders them ineffective, allowing the bacteria to evade the immune response. Additionally, MRSA can produce toxins like panton-valentine leukocidin, PVL, which specifically targets and destroys white blood cells, further weakening the body's defenses. Adding to the challenge, MRSA is equipped with an altered penicillin-binding protein, PBP2A, which prevents antibiotics like methicillin from interfering with its cell wall synthesis. This means that treatments that would typically kill bacteria are ineffective against MRSA, making infections much more difficult to treat. Understanding these aspects of MRSA's behavior and biology helps us appreciate the gravity of the threat it poses. It's not just about a single bacterium, it's about a highly coordinated, well-armed adversary that requires early detection, proper treatment, and rigorous prevention measures to keep in check. Knowing this, we can better prepare ourselves to protect our health and the health of those we care about. MRSA infections often start from a common Staphylococcus aureus strain. So, how does a harmless bacteria mutate into a formidable superbug? It begins with antibiotic abuse. When staph bacteria are exposed to antibiotics, most are killed, but some survive due to genetic mutations. These survivors adapt and evolve, becoming resistant to the antibiotic. Over time, the more antibiotics these bacteria encounter, the more resistant they become, eventually leading to methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, or MRSA. MRSA isn't just a concern for hospitals, it's a versatile pathogen that can spread in various environments. It is most commonly transmitted through direct skin-to-skin contact, or by touching contaminated surfaces. For instance, if you touch a surface that has MRSA bacteria on it, and then touch your nose, mouth, or a wound, you can get infected. Wounds and cuts are significant entry points for MRSA. When you have an open wound, it's easier for the bacteria to invade your body. This is why it's crucial to keep wounds clean and covered, especially in environments where MRSA might be present. But it's not just through touch. MRSA can also be transmitted through respiratory droplets, making it possible to spread through coughing or sneezing, especially in crowded or confined spaces. Another surprising way MRSA can spread is through intimate contact, including sexual activity. Skin-to-skin contact during sex can transfer the bacteria, especially if there are cuts or abrasions present. This highlights the importance of maintaining good personal hygiene and being aware of MRSA's potential presence. Certain individuals are at higher risk of MRSA infections, particularly those with weakened immune systems or chronic diseases. Recent hospitalization, residence in long-term care facilities, and recent antibiotic therapy increase the likelihood of contracting MRSA. Conditions like diabetes also make individuals more susceptible due to their compromised immune function and potential for poor wound healing. Treating MRSA requires a strategic approach that combines medical treatment and diligent self-care. Here's a comprehensive guide to managing MRSA infections, tailored to help you effectively handle this challenge. First, let's talk about antibiotics. MRSA is resistant to many common antibiotics, so healthcare providers often prescribe specialized ones. These might include vancomycin, daptomycin, or linezolid, which are effective against MRSA. Your doctor will determine the best antibiotic based on the infection's severity and your health profile. It's vital to follow the prescribed regimen exactly as directed, even if symptoms improve before finishing the medication. Stopping early can lead to the bacteria becoming resistant to the medication, making it harder to treat in the future. For skin infections like abscesses, treating MRSA often involves more than just antibiotics. Sometimes these abscesses need to be drained to remove the infection from the area. This procedure is typically performed by a healthcare provider. In addition to medical treatments, some natural remedies can complement your healing process, but they should not replace conventional treatments. Here are a few natural approaches that might help. Tea tree oil. Known for its antibacterial properties, tea tree oil can be applied topically to the wound. Dilute it with a carrier oil like coconut oil before application to avoid irritation. Honey. Medical-grade honey, particularly Manuka honey, has been shown to have antimicrobial properties. It can be applied to the wound to aid in healing. Garlic. Garlic has natural antimicrobial properties. While consuming garlic can boost your immune system, applying garlic directly to a wound is not recommended due to potential irritation. While these natural remedies can offer additional support, they should be used in conjunction with, not as a substitute for, your prescribed treatment. Always consult with your healthcare provider before trying any new treatments to ensure they're safe and appropriate for your situation. By combining prescribed antibiotics, proper wound care, and possibly some natural remedies, you can effectively manage MRSA infections. Remember, adherence to your treatment plan and regular checkups are crucial for a successful recovery and for preventing future infections. Preventing MRSA starts with good hygiene practices. Wash your hands regularly, keep wounds clean and covered, and avoid sharing personal items like towels and razors. This is crucial in environments like schools and gyms where the bacteria can easily spread. Additionally, routine cleaning of frequently touched surfaces and equipment is necessary to reduce the risk of transmission. MRSA is a serious threat, but with the right knowledge and practices, we can reduce its impact. Early detection and proper treatment are vital, Remember, maintaining hygiene and using antibiotics responsibly are our best defenses. Let's also be mindful of potential contamination in food and shared items. If you suspect an infection, consult a healthcare professional immediately. Share this video to raise awareness and help others protect themselves from this dangerous bacteria. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more health tips and updates. Together, we can fight the rise of antibiotic-resistant infections.